There's so many different kinds of materials to grow orchids, but the most common in the United States is bark and moss. But how do we use it properly? Let's get right into it. First of all, I want to say that there's so many different kinds of media. There's lava rock, there's perlite, there's coconut husk, tree fern, so many different things. This video is going to get right to the point using bark and moss, which are the most common ones. But if you want more info on the other types, check out this video right here. And also, there's so many different kinds of bark as well. If you're interested in the different types, you could check out this video here. This video is going to be focused on how to use bark and moss effectively as some of the most common potting materials that we use as indoor growers for orchids. So my very first orchid was a Phalaenopsis, and it's this one right here, which I still have. I got this in a clear pot, and it had very coarse moss on it. I remember getting it in 2014. I remember I watered it too much because I thought bark was very different from the soil that I was used to. So when I watered it, I was like, wait, it's not staying moist. All of the water is running off. So I remember I put it in another decorative pot and I overwatered it and lots of roots died. It was sitting in stagnant water. Then I learned that orchids are epiphytes. They grow on trees, so they like moisture, but they like air. So that's why bark is used so much. But I went the other extreme. I would water. I put it in an orchid pot with air holes, and I would water it and let it dry, and then it would dry really fast. It would dry within 2 days. And I noticed that the leaves would start growing in smaller and smaller. That being said, I figured it out in a year. This one didn't die on me, I think because of the sheer size. This is a bigger orchid. Smaller orchids are quicker to die. The little miniature orchids, I lost a lot of them after first getting this one. But bigger ones tend to be more resilient. That being said, I went to two extremes. I waterlogged the roots, but then I let it dry too much. So I started trying to figure out as I grew the collection, what's the right balance? Orchids in the wild grow on trees, and they tend to get very humid conditions. They get heavy rains. So in the wild, their roots get lots of water, but they dry out really fast. So we adapt when we grow indoors by potting in things that tend to be airier. The thing is, when you're growing indoors, the humidity is way lower. So your home environment is not going to be the same as what these orchids get in the wild, especially a lot of the Phalaenopsis. They're used to very humid conditions. A lot of the Cattleyas are used to humid jungle conditions. We need to provide a more humid environment for those roots. And we got to figure out how do we best imitate what these orchids get in the wild. So that's where some of the more moisture retentive moss comes in. Right now, it's 30% humidity in this room, which is way lower than what these orchids get in the wild. So how do we adapt? Back when I first started growing, I learned using bark and moss for Miss Orchid Girl, and it worked out very well for me. So when I first started growing this orchid, this first orchid, the next time I repotted it, I put it in a mixture of bark and moss, and it allowed me to water it, and I noticed that it was holding moisture within the pot. In the wild, these orchids get lots of humidity, and the most important part where they get the humidity is the roots. So even if it's dry in the room, within the pot, we want to create a humid environment that's not soaking wet. So it's got to be like airy for these orchids, yet also hold some moisture. But I started experimenting with adding bark with moss, and I noticed that the leaves were growing way better. I experimented a good bit, and I realized that it all came down to your environment and how you're watering your orchid. So in my last video, I spoke about the challenges of having a big collection. And for me, watering can be time consuming. And a lot of folks, they like to soak their orchids, which is great. If you have the orchids in bark, to saturate everything, you need to soak them or water them very thoroughly under a sink or under a hose. I have over 200, so I don't have the luxury to do that. So I use a watering can and I go to each pot and I water them. That being said, in order to do that, I can't have just 100% bark in every single pot, or the water will just flow through and not really saturate the pot. So here comes the moss that I use. So I started introducing moss to almost everything in my collection. I use a mixture of 20 to 30% moss within most of my pots, And what this does is the bark, you can't see it too much, but this is my Richard Mueller. It's outgrowing this pot, so I'm gonna upgrade it very soon. But I have a mixture of bark and moss in here. And what it does is the bark gives a lot of air, but the moss, especially if you spread it out across the pot, it provides a lot of moisture and humidity to these roots. So even though it's dry out there, it's kind of humid in here and you don't have to water as often. What's also helpful for me is when I water a little bit quite slowly around the perimeter of the pot, and that moss absorbs and saturates the entire pot. So all of the roots get nice moisture. It takes a little practice to know how much water you need in every pot, but it absorbs it. And it doesn't just flow through, not getting all of the roots. Like if you're using just bark, you use a watering can and you just put it in a corner, only one corner is gonna get hydrated. If you add a little moss, it kind of absorbs it and spreads it, especially if you have it scattered through the pot. Now, what's best for you? It depends on a few different factors. Your home environment is one of them. If you have very humid conditions, you're better off using bark because it's gonna stay a little bit wetter after you water if your environment is more humid. If you have very dry conditions, you can get away with using more sphagnum moss. If you're growing outdoors in Florida, let's say, and your orchids are getting constant rain, moss wouldn't be the best idea because it will stay wet, hold on to too much moisture and rot those roots. So environment is a big factor. The way you water is also another factor. If you soak your orchids and you like to water very frequently, bark is all you need, especially if you don't have a big collection and you water them when they need it, then I don't think you need to even use moss very much. But if you're not a big fan of watering, if you don't want to water that often, moss helps a lot because when you water, even if you soak, it allows it to maintain that moisture longer so you don't have to water as often. If you're using like a watering can like I am throughout the whole collection, moss kind of helps me because it spreads the moisture and I don't have to worry about going to the sink each time. The way that you water is a factor in how much bark versus moss you're using. Orchids are also different. Oncidiums and Phalaenopsis, they like more moisture. They like to be watered as they're approaching dryness. They can't stay dry too long. So some of my Phalaenopsis are in 100% moss. And they grow really well. I keep it nice and fluffy. You can check out this video right here on how I use it. But they like their moisture. You just want to keep the pot relatively snug. A snug pot dries faster. And again, in the wild, these orchids get lots of moisture, but they're allowed to dry out pretty fast. So you don't want to keep it in tight moss or anything like that. But then there's Cattleyas and Dendrobiums and Vandas that prefer drying faster. Then in that case, I use mostly bark and then add 20 to 30% moss just to keep it humid and to allow me to water using a watering can. There are also differences in pots. So for example, if you have a very airy pot, you can get away with using more moss in a very dry environment. So this is Vanda Rainbow Stars, and I have it in 100% moss. It's in this orchid pot that's very airy, and I find that it dries out within 2 days. So when I water it, it gets pretty saturated, but it's allowed to dry out so fast because there's lots of air around it. So something like this, you could use more moisture retentive moss or 100% depending on your environment. Again, if you live in a very humid environment, it's safer to use bark and less moss, but you'd have to experiment to see how it works out for you. If you grow outdoors, I don't advise moss, but if you grow indoors and your humidity tends to be on the lower end, I find that this works pretty well with pots that have lots of aeration. Clay pots also dry fast, so you can get away with adding a little bit more moss in them. I have a lot of my encyclias in clay pots. And in those cases, I add a tiny bit more moss than plastic pots, which tend to hold more moisture. So something like this is not porous, so it's gonna hold more moisture and take longer to dry. With the pots, as I mentioned, snug is best. You don't want something swimming in lots of media. That will take much longer to dry, especially with a small root system. So something like this is a 4-inch pot. I'll probably pot it up into a 5-inch pot next. So just go up one pot size. That way it's not swimming in media and staying wet excessively long. So what's best for you? Well, it really comes down to how often you're watering. If you like to water your orchids all the time, if you're very heavy-handed with how you water, bark is gonna be your best friend. If you have a lot of orchids like I do and you don't have the time to bring them to the sink, or if you wanna be able to water them on the spot, you wanna add some moss to it, especially if you have dry indoor conditions. And when I say dry conditions, I'm talking my winters are 15 to 40%. In the summer, I have brief periods where the humidity gets very high, but that's very brief in the summer. But for the most part in this room and indoors, the humidity doesn't exceed really 50%. Maybe it's about 40 for the most part on average through the year. It's always best to experiment rather than change everything right away. What works for me may not work for you, but I think it's really important to be around other growers, watch content with other growers that live in similar conditions as you. So what works for me may not work for someone in Miami, for instance. If they use a lot of moss outdoors, those orchids may rot. Perhaps indoors, if they have some orchids in lower humidity, indoor AC conditions, and that's a little bit different. Talk to other growers in your environment and see how they grow their orchids, because if it's successful for someone who lives near you, it probably will work for you. But you got to keep in mind as well that everyone waters a little bit differently. Some people, like I said, will be very heavy-handed, and some people, they don't want to water that often. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in the membership, there is a guide up this month on the best way to use bark and moss for indoor growers. The details are down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye everyone.